Hello everyone, this is Tricky and welcome back to another top 10 video. In my last top 10 I covered some really cool fan-made Pokemon, so if you missed it, please go check it out. If you are new to my channel, this is a top 10 series, so there are multiple episodes of each category such as cool, creepy, funny, cute, and the prettiest fusions. So if you enjoy Pokemon, I highly recommend that you leave a like, check out the playlist, and subscribe, so yeah. On screen right now are the viewer fusions. If you would like to skip this section, you could go down to the comment section below and you could click my little timestamp and then it'll skip right to the top 10 because some people like it, some people don't, so we can make a compromise here. Thank you so much for submitting. I always love looking at all y'all's art. Y'all are so talented, and please do not get discouraged if your art does not show up in the video. I get hundreds of submissions. I really do, and I want to include as many as possible. Be sure to put hashtag TrickyFusions. I will not include it if it doesn't have the hashtag. It has to be spelled correctly, so please double check before you send it because yeah, it makes it a lot easier for me to keep track of all of them because I could just put it in the search bar and then they all pop up. If it doesn't have the hashtag, it won't pop up. And be sure to check out the artists in the description below. The main purpose of these videos is to promote them. So my big favor to you guys is go to them and spread your love, give them a follow, and say that Tricky sent you and all that good stuff, and just smooch on them. Love them forever. So let's go ahead and get started. Taking our number 10 spot, we have a Magnemite and a Butterfree fusion. At first thought, fusing a Magnemite with anything could seem a little generic sometimes. You basically make any Pokemon into a creepy Cyclops thing. While that's pretty cool, I love it when the artist goes the extra mile to come up with something unique and creative. This Magnemite and Butterfree fusion is really interesting, and it honestly looks like a futuristic tool that you may use. It has antennas for signals, so it could be some kind of funked out version of a cell phone, and it looks like it has a small television screen on its tummy, so that's pretty cool. I love the designs on the wings. I think that's my favorite part of this fusion. I can imagine that they light up kind of like a circuit lighting is dancing across its wings whenever it's calculating something or about to attack. I think that would be really cool if it had some sort of lighting going across them. I believe that this thing would be an electric bug type or electric flying, whichever one that you guys want pretty much. The beauty of these fusions is that we can just use our imagination and come up with anything. I'm sure it'll be very helpful unless you want to be weird and make it into a refrigerator magnet, but anyway, the name given to it is Magnafree. Moving on to number 9, we have an Electabuzz and a Donphan fusion. When I first found this, it automatically reminded me of a Goron Golem from The Legend of Zelda, but in this case they could cause earthquakes and they can shoot lightning. The type for this Pokemon would be Electric Ground for sure, and it looks like a complete beast mode when it comes to attacking. It's art like this that makes me wish that Pokemon fusion was an actual thing in the games, though there would be way too many combinations. That would potentially break the game and give us thousands of different Pokemon possibilities, which would be freaking fantastic, but that would never happen. This also looks like something you would play as in a game like World of Warcraft or League of Legends. It's just that detailed style and I love it. I think it's gorgeous. The name given to this fusion is Electrofan, drawn by Morgan Howell. Taking our number 8 spot, we have a Cyndaquil and a Zorua fusion, drawn by MD Bruin Art. And if I mispronounced that, I am so sorry, I'm very bad. But anyway, this was a viewer fusion that was submitted to me to my Twitter by a very talented artist, and I am such a huge Okami fan, and whenever I first saw it, I was like, this reminds me of Okami. Okami got me through a lot of dark times, and it's one of my all-time favorite games. If you haven't played it, I definitely recommend it. But anyway, maybe an art lover made me appreciate the game a lot more, and its unique brush-like style was amazing. It really does have a subtle design, but it's well done. It definitely looks like one of the Japanese masked foxes, and I absolutely love them. I love mythology, I love Japanese mythology, and pretty much all the little creatures that revolve around that. I was debating about putting this in the cute category, but it's honestly a really cool concept, and while it is adorable, this little guy would wreck some lives. Names for this fusion could be Sindazo or Zoraquil, which kinda sounds like a cold medicine, but it's okay. Moving on to number 7, we have a Salamence and a Reshiram fusion. Now, let me tell ya, I fangirled like crazy when I saw this fusion. I love both of these Pokemon so much, but the combination just works so perfectly. The white and red mixture is great, and while this Pokemon looks super majestic, it also has that touch of elegance, and of course, the power. I really want more quadruped or four-legged dragons besides Salamence, and this is just glorious. We have a familiar artist here. I love Seaxis, or Seaxis, however how you say it. I do love the metal plates around its neck and tail. I think that's a fantastic addition. It kind of looks like a pure white form of Cinder the Dragon from Spyro. I love Cinder so much. She has such a cool design, and I just love dragons in general, so whenever I see one, of course, I'm a giant fan of it. But anyway, the artist did a fantastic job as usual, so let's go ahead and move on. At number 6, we have a legendary trio fusion. We got Kyogre, Groudon, and Rayquaza. It's probably one of my favorite Hoenn legendary fusions. It's so well put together to the point that this actually looks like an actual Pokemon and not just adding on random body parts. I have seen that in a lot of fusions and it looks kinda out of place, just random put together stuff, and Making this Pokemon black was a fantastic choice, not just because it brings out a really cool feel to it, but if its body was green, red, and blue in parts, it wouldn't mesh together to make its own being. But my point is, this is absolutely gorgeous. It was done so well. It looks like it would move around like Hoopa Unbound, like levitating above the ground while it slashes its foes. Now, let's see what you guys think. If we were to give this Pokemon a type, what would you type it? What ability would it have, and what would you name it? This was created by Raymond, and they have a lot of really cool fusions. So again, go down to the description and check out all the art links. Moving on to number 5, we have a Giratina and a Chandelure fusion. This is also a subtle change, but if you are familiar with me, you know how I feel about Ghostly Fire. Not only did they add beautiful lavender mixed fire, they also included a decorative design around its body. Notice its tail, it branches out to Chandelure's beautiful candle stands that shines with someone's soul. That's freaking terrifying, but it works for Giratina. Giratina is a ghost dragon anyway, so this fusion makes sense. I never really thought of Giratina as a ghost, and I viewed it more like a bug dragon instead. I honestly don't really know why, but that's just how my mind worked around it. I'm not saying that you must add Ghostly Fire to make it a ghost type, of course, but the fire is probably my favorite thing about this, and I love decorations. I suppose adding those attributes with the fire to a dragon just adds on to the cake for me. A name for this fusion could be Giralure or Shandatina. At number 4, we have a Giratina and an Arceus fusion, but this is not even its final form. This is its Omega form. It's mostly Origin Giratina's body, but there are some structures of Arceus in there, though they are very subtle. Then we move on to its Alpha form. This has a lot more Arceus features, and I love the golden structures on its back. The shape of them is just so elegant, runs together, looks like something that you would see in a king's castle or something like that. But let's get to my favorite form. Its complete form. This consists of both Giratina forms and Arceus. I think that this fusion is very funny because Arceus is meant to be the god Pokemon and Giratina is meant to be kind of sort of like the Lucifer or the Satan of Pokemon. So fusing them together is like boom. What do you get out of that? He's a very conflicted guy. He's a very conflicted Pokemon. Some days he's very nice, but some days he wants to take over the world. He just depends on how he's feeling that day. Its name is a Giratina. It is a normal ghost type, and I absolutely love it. To be completely honest, this does look like a god Pokemon. It looks more so like a god Pokemon than Arceus, and I am very sorry, but I just think that they could have done so much better with Arceus's design. Moving on to number 3, we have a Mega Pidgeot and a Mega Blaziken fusion. This is a Catmef piece, and I absolutely love how this turned out. Kind of has the arm wing structure, kind of like Hawlucha. This is the ultimate fighting bird, and then even with its feet, it could kick you and leave scratches all over your body. It definitely has a beautiful design. The colors just work so nicely together. The light browns, the blues, the golden, and even the crimson headpiece that it has. But unfortunately, triple typing does not exist. But fusions like this doesn't exist either, so we could pretty much do anything we want to with it. But anyway, like I said before, it just gives us an open mind, and it allows our imagination to go insane. A name for this fusion could be Mega Pidgeotkin or Mega Blaziot or something like that. That's cool. Moving on to number 2, we have a Mega Houndoom, a Cofagrigus, and an Aggron fusion. This thing is insane. This definitely looks like it would be a ghost dark type. It came together so nicely, and if anything, it almost looks like Giratina's mixed in there too because of the little hands. But of course, the Egyptian vibe and the little hand things are attributes from Cofagrigus. This is something that I would ride into battle with. Would you ride into battle on the back of a pharaoh dog ghost thing. How does one not ride a pharaoh ghost dog thing? Cool thing about it is that I could just imagine these hands just kind of swaying around it, or even growing longer, or creeping in the shadows to grab something, or even power up its little hand things. I don't know, I think that's my favorite part about the fusion. It just gives it a creepy detail that's so full of imagination, and I just love it. It looks so freaking cool. I want it. I am fangirling way too hard over this. This was created by Visaurus or Visaurus, and the name given to this fusion is Mega Aggredoom. Now before I reveal number 1, I'm just gonna remind you guys to check out the other fusion videos if you haven't already. There are a lot of episodes. There is a playlist link in the description below, so if you click it, all of the videos should pop up. Also, if you just wanted to click the video tab, there's always that too, but it'll make it harder. But depending on what you're in the mood for, go check it out. Also, I do have a Fakemon series. If you like fan-made Pokemon concepts and stuff like that, I would check that out too. And then my third top 10 series is top 10 future Mega Evolutions. If you haven't seen those yet, I definitely recommend it. There's a lot of cool art that I show you guys, and it will give you a better idea of what I would like to see for Mega Evolutions. I want to thank you guys so much for the support. If we could hit the like goal, that would be freaking amazing. But I do love you guys, and let's try for that world domination, shall we? Taking our number 1 spot, we have a Delphox and a Litwick fusion. The intention of this art was to make Delphox into a ghost type, and then you could see on its little staff is a little Litwick. But look at this design. This is an amazing design, and this is something that you would even probably see in a Smash game or Pokken tournament, and it makes me kind of upset that they didn't go this route with Delphox to begin with. Of course, the fire psychic thing is still pretty cool, but this is awesome. Look at that dark magic. It has a summoning circle underneath it, and you know how I feel about summoning circles. They make me very happy inside. This is a ghost fire type. This fusion looks very intense. I so wish that Delphox looked like this, but I assure you that this Delphox is something that I would cherish forever. I would keep it, I would train it, and I would use it to destroy my enemies. I'm kidding. Don't do that. That's bad. You should love people. But this design came together so nicely. The mixtures of the dark grays, the blacks, and the purple, it just works so nicely. So that is my top 10 coolest fusions for this episode. Let me know which one of these are your favorite. Put it in the comment section below, along with what kind of fusion you would actually like to see in the future. You could have tons of fun with it. Come up with a name, come up with a type, come up with an ability. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. We're still working for that world domination. Here's my social links. You should follow me if you want to. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.